So, I've become very, very sort of fascinated with this Diddy trial and this Diddy case, and it gives me a chance to flex my legal brain a little bit, which is very, very rusty after decades of you know, misuse or non-use, I should say, non-use and a little break from the British UK tabloid press and their idiotic Harry and Meghan, just stupid articles. Will Harry come to see his father? Will he not? This and that. I mean, come on, right? So I have become completely glued to the Diddy case, and I have a totally different take from maybe 99% of people who discuss the case because everybody hates Diddy. I had no idea because I don't follow him. As I have said in all the other videos I've made, I'm not someone who is very plugged into the music industry and, all of I'm not into that stuff. So I don't follow the music, yeah, the stars, the rappers. It's not my vibe. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the music, the lyrics, the things they say about women. And the thing is that I feel like now that or that we have all seen what's actually going on behind the scenes with these people and the way they treat women and the things they are doing behind the scenes, the lyrics to these rap songs completely make sense now. It's kind of like before you're like, I mean, how do you even come up with something like that and get people to actually embrace that as normal, as being entertainment, and then further define that as black culture and this, that, and the next. It comes out of this environment. There's an environment that they have created, not just Diddy. I mean, Diddy is going down, but they all go to the parties and they all participate and have a real jolly, raleigh good time. And then when they're done, they rewrite history and say, "Oh my God, I participated, but I was not willing." I mean, look, you know, give me a break in most of those cases, right? But that all being said, I digressed a lot. Because I mean, I don't want people to think that I sympathize with Diddy in any way, shape, or form. No, I'm looking at this purely from a legal perspective and just trying to flex my brain a little bit with this case, from the perspective of, I don't want to say a lawyer because I don't really consider myself a lawyer, but just sort of a pseudo lawyer anyway, like an armchair lawyer, and especially one who knows nothing about criminal law, but just going by instinct and trying to think, oh my God, what the heck would I do if I had to defend a client in this situation, right? And one of the things I came up with is the insanity defense, you guys. I'm saying to myself, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I mean, this man is insane, clearly, right? Anybody who does what Diddy did since, I think, the 1990s, he said since 1992, he has documented everything that he's done in his life. These are his own words. And my big thing is, okay, no problem. I mean, we all document our lives, especially now with social media, but no one in their right minds would document the types of things that Diddy has documented. I mean, Diddy seems like he went out of his way to create, orchestrate, direct, manage, and film and consume the most grotesque acts one can imagine that anyone could do. And he did this not once, not twice, but as a matter of routine since 1992. And then he filmed that, right? And he does so illegally in many instances because it does not appear that he had consent, although we don't know. He may have NDAs signed by everyone who comes into his home. We don't really know what this man is really up to. But let's assume that no one really knew that there were hidden tapes in all of these rooms. And I would imagine that that's true. I mean, because nobody in their right mind would walk into a room that was rigged with hidden cameras and proceed to behave in the way that these people allegedly behaved. I have not seen any of these tapes, so this is all hearsay from my vantage point. But I mean, if I am to assume that he was arrested for a reason and that that reason is because of the existence of all these tapes that incriminate him, then it would suggest to me some form of insanity. Like nobody in their right minds continued to create the circumstances that would literally land them in prison with just one of these tapes, never mind the number of tapes that seems to have been in this man's possession dating back to 1992. He must have known and did know because he's not an idiot. You don't get to the level of your career that this man has reached by being an idiot. That's number one, right? So he's not an idiot, but even, criminals can be insane. People can be criminally insane, right? And it seems to me some form of criminal insanity that would convince this man to make all these hidden videotapes of his friends and others hiring illegal, sex workers to come to his house and videotaping the fact that he did that, right? Videotaping people in acts and whatever you call it, tantrums, or what is it? Not freak. Yeah, what is it called? The freak on? No, I've forgotten already. What am I? They call it freak off. The freak off. I forgot for 2 seconds. It's not the freak on. It's the freak off. So he hires people to come over for these freak offs. These people are called sex workers, so that already is illegal. He has all of these hidden cameras and he videotapes his crimes. Nobody who's sane does that, and he keeps this since 1992. Do you know how long 1992 is? 1992 to 2002, that's 10 years. To 2022, that's 20 years. For 22 years, this man has been videotaping himself in the midst of illegal activity. Think about that. And then, if you think about the fact that even just recently he was sued in the civil courts by this little, what is it, little Wayne, little John, little Bonbon, little something. What was it, little Tom, whatever. I can't remember. Little Jones. I don't even remember. Little something. Some guy sued him and said that he whatever, and it's a civil suit. So Puffy had time to get rid of these tapes. Not only that, but before the little whatever he was sued him, you had the ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura suing him, and he settled that case the very next day, but he kept all the tapes. This is insane, you guys. This is insane. And if you go back to one of Cassie's emails that was recently diffused on the 6 o'clock and the 11 o'clock news of all the major networks in the United States, you go back to what she said in one of her emails to him, and this seems to have been after the hotel incident where he kicked and dragged her and just basically physically abused her. And the essence of her email was that when he gets quote unquote effed up, he goes crazy on her, he goes off on her, and he abuses her and treats her like a rag doll. And she was basically reminding him that she is somebody's child. And so that's a very, very key email for the defense. The prosecution can use it obviously too to show and to prove that this man abused this woman. But I think that the defense can use it to say, well, you see what she said. What she said is when he gets effed up. And that suggests that his insanity could actually be a consequence of all the drugs. Like he takes all these drugs, he gets effed up, and then he does all this insane crap. And, I think that, even after the drug wears off, it clearly has left and a lasting and indelible imprint on his cerebral cortex. Because if he had healthy cerebral cortex, there's no way that he would have made these tapes and then kept these tapes even after having an opportunity to get rid of the tapes. He just left them there because after Cassie sued him, he could have frantically gotten rid of those tapes. And then after little Bow Wow or little whatever sued him, he also could have gotten rid of those tapes, but he did not. So my big thing is that maybe Puffy is insane and that he wasn't able to understand the consequences because of that insanity. And so that might be something that his attorneys could consider raising as his defense, the insanity defense. What is your take on that?